Amis, c'est l'heure de la jeunesse. Suivons la voie de la sagesse qui nous appelle, qui nous invite à l'union. C'est la voie de la nation.
Fellow Cameroonians, I'm Jacques Bouhga Hagbe, a Cameroonian economist and candidate in the upcoming presidential election in October 2025 in Cameroon. In this video message, I continue to tell you about my proposals on the monetary system that I intend to establish in Cameroon. The Central Bank of Cameroon, Cameroon with K, the CBK, will have to facilitate the purchase and sale of the crude on national and international markets under the conditions it will determine. Before the launch of the crude on financial markets, the CBK will call upon all central banks in the world and the financial institutions under their supervision to apply for licenses to buy and sell crudes on the Cameroonian domestic market and on international markets. On a case-by-case basis, the CBK will grant licenses through license agreements to these Cameroonian and foreign financial institutions, including foreign central banks, to buy and sell crudes in Cameroon and abroad under the conditions it will set. Foreign financial institutions that have obtained licenses from the CBK to sell and purchase crudes will also have to undertake in writing to facilitate the CBK's external payments by selling the currencies of their countries of residence to the CBK for crudes at market rates whenever necessary. This undertaking will have to be specified in the license agreements between the CBK and the foreign financial institutions concerned. The list of financial institutions authorized to sell the crude on national and foreign financial markets will be published on the CBK's website with their license agreements registered in Cameroon and in their countries of residence. Thus, the crude will become an international currency that can be traded on international financial markets and therefore a reserve asset like the dollar or the euro. With the crude becoming an international currency that can be bought and sold on international markets, the CBK will no longer need to hold many currencies like the euro or the dollar and will only keep as his main reserve assets the African drawing right of the African Monetary Fund, which I discussed in another video message, and the special drawing right of the International Monetary Fund. The CBK will no longer even need to have bank accounts outside Cameroon. When the CBK needs foreign currency to meet certain obligations abroad, it will simply sell crudes to foreign financial institutions that have obtained licenses to sell and buy crudes on domestic and international markets, transferring these crudes into their accounts opened on the CBK's books. The process will be the same with foreign central banks, to which the CBK will sell crudes, African drawing rights, or special drawing rights in exchange for the desired transfers to the bank accounts that the CBK has to pay in foreign currency. Therefore, the Constitution will require that the CBK only open or maintain bank accounts under the jurisdiction of a foreign country if this is a requirement arising from the law of the country concerned or from bilateral or international agreements to which Cameroon has subscribed. This approach to managing Cameroon's reserves assets will also allow Cameroon to keep the bulk of its assets under its jurisdiction, protect them from threats of blackmail from other countries, and avoid being a potential victim of theft or seizure of its assets by Western countries, as was the case for Côte d'Ivoire in 2010 and for Russia in 2022. The proper functioning of Cameroon's financial system will no longer depend on the currency of another country. With Cameroon's financial system becoming de facto open to all financial institutions worldwide, demand for the crew could also become quite strong, especially if the requirement to make certain payments only in crew is in place. Consequently, the crew could quickly become a very strong currency. The crew's appreciation will not have to penalize the competitiveness of the Cameroonian economy. Cameroonian companies will therefore be encouraged to consider contracts, including employment contracts and contracts with their suppliers, denominated in private currencies issued under Cameroonian jurisdiction and whose value in crew could depreciate as the crew appreciates. Thus, the value of the crew would become dissociated from the competitiveness of the Cameroonian economy. I'll give more details on private currencies in a third video on the future Cameroonian monetary system available on the CameroonMovement.net website. As you can see, our country can recover very quickly. Do not be discouraged. Register to vote and do everything you can to vote in October. Join the Cameroon Movement on his website, CameroonMovement.net, and let us lead the fight for change peacefully but with determination. Your financial support remains crucial. It consists of making donations to the Cameroon Movement through the means available on his website. We will need a lot of money to mobilize the Cameroon people and monitor his vote for the liberation of Cameroon. Do not be afraid. Our only true political party is Cameroon. Do not be afraid. Long live free Cameroon. Long live free Africa. Thank you for your kind attention.
C'est la voix de la nation.